Hello everyone, welcome to our channel CodeChef. This is Kusmulata Bhatt. Today we are going to solve the problem International Day of Yoga, which is of easy difficulty level and it requires prerequisites as observation and grading. So in this problem, we are provided the N halls. These are yoga halls of the dimensions Li cross Bi. That is, the ith room has length capital L and capital B. These will be defined for these each hall specifically. And we have a yoga mat which has a defined size of L cross B. Here L is a small l and small b. And one people will be allotted as one yoga mat. Now we have to find the maximum number of people we can accommodate in these N yoga halls. And there is another thing which is given in the problem, that the yoga mats should be axis aligned to the yoga hall and they should lie in the same orientation. Now what does the term axis align depicts here? So axis align means that if we have the n dimensions, then the object we are keeping in the dimension, then it should be parallel to all those dimensions. So here in the simple words, we have a yoga hall, then we can put the yoga mat in the dimension like across this length and breadth or as breadth or length. So this is what the first condition says, that is we cannot keep the yoga mat as this, that is we cannot keep it across any other angle to the rectangular yoga hall. So this will be incorrect and these both orientation will be correct. Now according to the second condition, that all the yoga mat should lie in the same orientation means that if we are keeping the yoga mat along the length, then we have to keep all the other yoga mats along the length as well. That is, we cannot keep the orientation that we are keeping the first mat across the length and then we are keeping the second mat across the breadth, and also then we are keeping the third mat along the length. That is, we are keeping the mix of the orientation. So this is not possible. Either we will keep the mat in the length order or breadth order. So keeping these points in the mind, we have to tell how many maximum persons can accommodate in these yoga hall. So we know that one person is assigned with the one yoga mat. So what we have to do is we have to simply count how many yoga mats we can place in these yoga halls, keeping these two conditions in the mind. Now let's see how we can solve this problem. So one of the simple observation here is each yoga hall is independent. So this is our yoga hall. So the ith yoga hall is independent of all other yoga halls. And the one of the other main observation in solving this problem is it's always optimal to start from one of the corner. Let's consider the case when our yoga hall is of size 4 cross 4 and our yoga mat is of size 2 cross 2. So this is yoga mat and this is yoga hall. So we can always observe that it is always optimal to start from one of the corner. So in this case also, if we put our yoga hall from the corner, then we will be able to put one mat in these four grids and other mat in these four grids, the third one in this and fourth one in this. And if we are not starting from any of the corner, then we will be keeping only one mat. So this can be case, there can be other case also which justify this. So we have to make sure that we are always starting from one of the corner in these cases. And then by this manner we can simply calculate that how many mats we can put in in ith hall, and then at the last we can simply add up the number of mats in each of the hall and this will be treated as our answer. Now let's see the input format for the problem. So the first line is going to contain the small l and small b, which is going to specify the dimensions of yoga mat. The second line is going to contain an integer n, which is going to give us the number of yoga halls we have in the ashram. And then n lines will follow, the ith line of which will contain the Li and Bi, which is going to specify the dimensions of the Ayat Yoga Hall. Now for the output, we have to print the maximum number of people that can be accommodated inside the ashram. The constraint of the problem is L and B value is going to lie between 1 and 50. N value can be large up to 10 to the power 5 and Li and Bi value will lie in the range of 1 and 1000. So now how we can find the number of mats in Ayat Yoga Hall. So up to this point we know that all our yoga halls are independent and we have to keep the yoga mats from one of the corner that will be optimal for us, and other thing is we have to keep the mats in the same orientation and axis parallel manner. So by this we know that we can have only two types of orientation, and which are, if we have a room as capital L capital B, then we can keep all of the mats by length. So here it will be length and breadth, and we will keep it by the corner, or either we can keep them by breadth, that is in this manner. So here it's capital B and capital L. So we have only two options when we are keeping by length and when we are keeping by breadth. So we can calculate the number of mats we will be having in the first case and in the second case, and then we can take the maximum of both of the cases. Now what will be the number of mats in the first case? So it will be simply capital B by B cross capital L by small l and the floor value of these, and for the second case it will be capital B by L and capital L by small l. So we have to take the maximum of both of the values, that in which way we will be getting the maximum number of mats in the yoga hall, and we will take that in the account for the Ayat Yoga Hall. Let's see this for the given test cases. So here we know the capital L is 4 and capital B is 12 and small l is 4 and small b is 4. So here is only one room. So it's L1 B1 here. So we can take the two orientation for this room when we are keeping by length. So when we are keeping length and length parallel to each other, so in this case it will be 4 by 4 into 12 by 4, and at the same time we have to maintain the floor value of both of these. So here it will be 3, 1 cross 3 equal to 3, and when we will be keeping it by the breadth, so in this condition it will be again capital L by small b, so 4 by 4 into capital B upon small b and the floor value of both of these. So in this case it is also 3. So we will take the maximum of both of these value and we will be getting 3 here as the answer, because we have only one room, so we can report of that only. And then we have another sample input here in which the small l is 10 and small b is 10. Then capital L1 is 2 here and B1 is 1000 here. So when we will keep by length, so it will be 2 by 10 into 1000 by 10. So for this case, we have to take the floor value. For all cases, we have to take the floor value. So in this case, 2 by 10 equal to 0 and other will be 10. So it will be 0 when we will be keeping by length. And for keeping by breadth, we will be taking capital L by B into capital B by L and the floor value of both. So in this case also, capital L is 2 here and capital B is 10 here, and capital B is it was small b is 10 here, and capital 1000 is capital B is 1000 and small l is 10. So in this case also it is 0, so we will take the maximum of both, which is 0 only, and we have only one room, so we will be giving 0 as answer here. So in this problem, we have to simply go to the ith room and we have to apply these two formula and we have to take the maximum value of this and we have to simply add it to the answer. So the time complexity in this case will be O of n, because we are doing the linear traversal of the yoga halls. Now let's have a look on the C++ code. So here I am taking the input of length and breadth of the yoga mat and at the same time the number of yoga halls I have. And then I'm initializing my answer in the long data type to 0, value, and then I'm traversing on the number of yoga halls and I'm taking the dimension of each yoga hall and I'm calculating the answer for it simultaneously. That is, I'm calculating the number of mats, the number of maximum mats I can put in that room simultaneously while taking the input of dimension of that room, and I'm taking the maximum of both of the orientation I have, and then I'm printing the answer to the screen. Now let's run it on the sample test cases. So here I have put it as 10, 10, 1, 2 and 1000. So this is the sample input 2. So we are getting 0 for that. Now let's put it for the another test case, which is 4, 4, 1 and 4, 12. So let's run it on this also. So we are getting 3 here, which is correct. So let's submit it and check whether we are passing all of the test cases or not. So we can see here that we are getting the correct answer as verdict here. Now let's have a look on some of the common mistakes that you can have here. So one of the mistake is on calculating the number of yoga mats we can put here. So what we can have in the mind that we have to simply divide the area of yoga hall by area of yoga mat. Why it's not true? We can check it from the case when we have the yoga mat of 10 cross 10 dimension and we have the yoga hall of 1 into 1000 dimension. So in this case our answer which will be given by this formula will be 10, while we cannot put any yoga mat here because on the breadth side we have 0 as the answer on dividing by breadth. That is, while looking on the breadth we can see that no yoga mat will be fitted on this side either by length or breadth. Now the another mistake we can have in C++ code, which is C++ or Java or any other language which does not have a proper range for the int for the data type. Now the third mistake is can be in the formula when we are applying the formula as directly, like for this case. mm, we are not using the proper parenthesization. Let's say we are calculating for the first case as L by L and B by B. Then according to the programming language, we will be using associativity for division and multiplication, and it will first do the division of L by L and then it will do the multiplication by b and then it will divide the whole by small b. So this will give us the incorrect answer. While what we have to do, we have to first do the division of L by L. So we have to apply the parenthesization here and then we have to do the division of b by b, and so we have to also apply the parenthesization here and then we will be multiplying the answer of both of the values. So we have to make sure we are using the proper parenthesization while calculating the while using this formula, this multiplication and division combination. So that's it for the video guys. Thanks for watching.